Well, it is the end of week 8, and I've spent most of my week here in the office working on various different video projects. I thought it would just be interesting to cover kind of how I'm going to construct the video in Premiere, the virtual field trip video, that is. And maybe before I do that, I can just retouch. So I'm working on the virtual field trip, which is a long form video that's going to be used maybe in more educational environments. And then I'm also working on the YouTube channel, which features the Feedyard Learning Center, which is the same content as the virtual field trip, but broken up into smaller increments, since it's more friendly to YouTube, right? And then those different videos are kind of gonna be what makes up the virtual field trip. I'm going to show right now what I specifically am doing with the virtual field trip and how that's going to be constructed as a project in Premiere, because it's pretty complicated and it's not something, it's probably the largest project I've worked on like to scale. Okay, so I'm here in Adobe Premiere with the master virtual field trip file, and I'm going to look through some of the different bins that I have that are collecting different elements of the field trip, and then how those are all going to fit into the main timeline. We have here our interviews in this bin right here, and so all of the people we've talked to are here. We'll look at Wayne's. Wayne's got his, well, we'll look at Wes. Wes has his audio line sequence right here, and so for right, the video that we took and then the audio that we took, those are lined up together and synchronized, and so then we can just take that sequence and drop it right into, let's see, for the Cat Ranch, Wes will be here, and it'll just be one succinct thing as opposed to a bunch of different information. It's one audio and video line, right, as opposed to a bunch of different ones that are all staying synchronized and whatever. We just nested a sequence into another sequence. And so these are sub-sequences that will go into the main sequence, which is the virtual field trip. And they'll just, once they're all done, we'll just line them all up and cut transitions between them. Another cool thing that we'll be using is the new Essential Graphics panel in Adobe Premiere. Well, okay, so previously I had built some lower thirds graphics. One of them looks like this, and it goes for like 15 seconds. I'm just gonna cut it. The other one comes out from the left, so that means I should move right. Yeah, and right. But then I was able to just sync or save them, I guess, to the Creative Cloud, which is, you know, the remote server that I can save different media to, and then I can open them up, close After Effects, and then open them up in Premiere, and I have them. And they're right there. So I'll just drop one down. It's gonna look kind of weird. Right, so it doesn't look right now, but that's just the software waiting out. But I can put, you know, since we're talking to Jose, put Jose, there it is. So it'll just automatically change his name and be whatever we need it to say. So that's a really cool feature that I'm excited to use. And those will be used to explain information that wasn't covered in the interviews, or to transition from point to point. So once it's all done, it'll go into the virtual field trip sequence, which is this main sequence, and it'll be filled with subsequences that are filled with subsequences, right? And that can all work together to make the final video. So that's how I'm gonna construct this virtual field trip. So as you can kind of see, I haven't really even begun to nest sequences in sequences yet. That's just kind of how it's going to work. I'm setting up the template for me to do it so that when everything's ready to go, it can just go and be done. However, we are still waiting on like one last interview that's going to provide another like 40% of the content that we're going to work with. And so when that happens, then we'll be able to finish up everything for the Feedyard Learning Center on YouTube and at least start getting it cut, and then once it's cut, getting it published, and then at the same time start filling in everything for the virtual field trip and identifying how it's gonna, or figuring out how it's gonna flow. So we're waiting on the interview, and we're waiting on a time when we can fly a drone.